Most memberships lose clients within the first 30 days, and I believe that all comes down to a good or bad onboarding process with your clients. So whether you're a coach, a consultant, a service provider, or you own a type of agency, this video is for you to develop a really clear, streamlined onboarding process that sets your client up for success from day one of them joining your program. So today, I'm going to show you the onboarding process that I use for my clients so that you can increase retention and set your members up for success. This is so that from the moment that they pay you, their onboarding is clear, automated, and set up for quick wins. I'm going to break this down into 3 parts, from back-end automation to your onboarding course to your onboarding call. Let's dive in. So before we go setting up your actual onboarding process, it's important to know, why does onboarding actually matter? Think about the last time you paid for a program or joined something. And just imagine if you were thrown now into a portal or into a community and not really given your next step or your first step. You're kind of like, what am I doing here? What do I do? Like you feel like a lost puppy a little bit. And that's the last thing we want to do to our clients. We want them to come in and realize, like, damn, they've got me. They have a process here. They have a structure. They're not going to make sure that I'm floundering from the day that I step in. They're actually getting me quick wins, and it's clear that I'm handled. They've got this. So it really just shifts the dynamic of your coaching relationship or your business relationship from the moment that they join. And so a mistake that I see a lot of times is that we dump a lot of content into our portals, and then from the moment someone joins, we're like, here's the keys to the castle, and they're like, where do I start? What do I do first? They're looking for a proven step-by-step process. So if we can give them that starting day one when you begin to onboard them, not only are they going to move further faster, but they're going to have more trust in you and your program. So a mistake here that we want to solve for, this is like the primary thing that we're solving for today, is there's no clear step. That leads to overwhelm. So let's make it clear. A step-by-step journey that your clients can go through from the moment that they join and know that you've got them. So the importance is onboarding equals clarity, confidence, and retention. So what I want you to think about first is, what is the very first thing that a member should do once they click that pay button and you hear that cha-ching in your account? What needs to happen? Jot that thing down right now. I want you to be building and thinking about this as we go, so you can actually be building this out for yourself. I don't need you to just learn what I do for onboarding. I need you to make your own. Okay, so jot that thing down, what the very first thing is that someone should do once they pay. So the first part of this series is your automated backend. This is what's going to happen behind the scenes, usually in your CRM, without you even having to do anything. Usually this is initiated by when someone actually submits a payment. So if you're using School, without getting all technical on you, there's a way to do this so that School is connected to your backend, and it just tells your backend that a new client just signed up. So what ours looks like is we're going to invite them into our paid School automatically. This happens with a webhook. So that's going to go out on its own. So already I know that they've been invited through School if they didn't pay through School, of course. Okay? It's going to remove them from any workflows that are like lead magnets, calls booked from before. I just want to take them out of all other workflows, because now that they're a client, this is the most important workflow that they could actually be a part of. So make sure they're not getting like sales newsletters from you anymore. Okay, so that's very important. Then they should get a welcome email from you. I'm going to pull mine up now so that I can share with you a couple things that are on mine. Keep it simple, please. Simplicity is key here, less but better. So a couple things that are on mine. Number one, I let them know, obviously, welcome to the program. I'm so excited to actually have you here. So express your excitement and your gratitude for actually having them as a client now. They trusted you. They're here because they're looking for your help and they believe in what you do. So number one, straight up, just welcome them to your program. Okay, the second thing that we can do is let them know what you want them to do next or first. So for me, it's actually filling out their onboarding form. Because in order for me to actually have that successful onboarding call, there's some things that I need to know before the call in order to make that happen. Now, just a little side note here that I think is a ninja strategy. For a long time, I actually didn't have an onboarding form. But what I did have was a very clear process on my call. I realized that if I could just send them a form that they fill out before our onboarding call, which is 45 minutes, then I would have a lot more data and we could move a lot quicker together on that call. We'd be more effective and efficient with our time. So I created an onboarding form that they need to do first before booking their onboarding call. This would make it black and white clear to me what we need to focus on that call. And like, just to reiterate, on the sales call itself, after they've just paid and become a client, we book that onboarding call live with them within the next 7 days. So we know we're talking again. We've already got that locked in, it's on the schedule. So that's why it makes sense that their first real official step is filling out that form after we've gotten off that call. So this email is gonna let them know that I need them to do that first. Now, step 2 is very simple. They're gonna sign into their coaching portal. Now, why is this the second step? Well, once they're in their coaching portal, which I'm gonna help you create in the next pillar, that's where you're gonna be able to create their onboarding course, which is gonna walk them through the rest of the onboarding. So step 1 is to fill out their onboarding form so that you're geared up for your call. Step 2 is to enter their coaching journey, which is basically to finish their onboarding. So it's as simple as that. Your welcome email should not be a million pages long. It needs to be simple. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. I wouldn't do more steps than that. Keep it simple. Because when they get into your onboarding course, they're gonna be able to actually go through and check things off as they go, which is awesome. And it feels like momentum and wins already, okay? So from an automation perspective, what do we have so far? A webhook, we're removing from specific workflows, we're sending a welcome email. A couple things I have is it's sending out documents and contracts. So anything that you need your people to sign, you can create template versions of that literally just customize the information based on who's in your CRM. And it will just customize that template and send it for them. If you're watching me and you're like, where is she building out this automation? I use Go High Level, but it's our white label version of that. Basically means I can take my whole entire account and just give it to you with the click of a button. And you'll actually have my entire client onboarding workflow inside of that. So I'll drop a link below this video. So if you want my entire Go High Level account already built for you, and you can just customize the onboarding sequence that I already have, just click below this video and you can get a 14-day free trial and you can just customize this workflow that I'm talking about right now. Okay, so we're sending out their waiver of liability, sending out their contract. From there, we're actually adding a tag that says, I'm looking at my membership launch accelerator workflow, but it'll say like active client -MLA, which is great because now I know they're an active client, they're tagged as that, all the things. And then it's good to then remove the tags of like hot lead, new lead, all the other lead tags that you might have because now they're actually a client. Okay, now it's gonna move them in your pipeline to where it's saying, hey, they're not just an open lead anymore. Now they're actually one, and put the dollar amount value that the client is worth in terms of money. Cool. Lastly, I do an internal notification to our team, letting everybody know that we just got an MLA client, and for our client success manager to go ahead and create a welcome post and tag them in it inside of our paid school community. So it's that simple. Guys, it's just a very clear back-end automated workflow that you create once, which might take you like, depending on what you do and don't have, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Once you have that done, you never have to think about it again. It's just gonna happen. It's amazing, okay? This is scalability. This is setting up yourself with systems to scale your coaching business, okay? So that's part 1. Now enters part 2. This is where we're gonna set up your onboarding course. So think the automated sequence just sent them here. Now what? Well, we think they already have their onboarding call and their onboarding form. But what if someone forgot to look at the email or didn't actually book the onboarding call because something came up in the sales process and they had to get off really quick? Well, I want to put that back in this onboarding course just in case. So if your first step is an onboarding call, for example, you need to put that again. So I have some things like book your onboarding call, submit your onboarding form, sign your contracts, basically the same things we already said. Then I have a video from me that actually welcomes them into the program, okay? Then the next thing is I'm actually showing them the program roadmap. This part is really key. So if you take nothing else away from the actual course portion of this training, what we wanna do is make sure that they're very clear where they're at on the journey and where we're taking them. So it's outlining your program roadmap. That's very important. And then hearing you walk them through it. They need to know that there's a process that we're following here. So if there is, tell them about it. Okay, so I think that's one of the top things that you could do in this course. So everything else aside is program roadmap. From there, after they understand, they've been welcomed into the program, they've been shown the program roadmap. What I really like to do next is just remind them to learn with a live event. So I'll be like, hey, these are the types of events that we host. Here's a link to our calendar of events. It's very simple, okay? So show that to them. Make it very simple. Look, next, add our events to your schedule. Go do this thing. Like guys, step-by-step process. Tell them what to do. Tell them to add the calls to their schedule. Tell them which calls to prioritize. For example, if you are a business coach and you don't need someone week 1 to be focusing on the sales aspect of your course. Have them come to the foundations or the mindset trainings that you do once a week, not your sales call training. So you can tell them in onboarding, don't worry about these calls, only focus on these. And that's it. Guys, people need to be told very simply what to do and what not to do. It's that simple. That's what your onboarding needs to do, is set expectations, which is the next video. Set clear expectations. So what I mean by that is if you're like, hey, look, the best people in my program lean into the coaching instead of lean out when things get hard. They go through the journey step by step, one thing at a time. They don't just consume the information, they implement as they go, right? Tell them these things, okay? I call mine the 12 MLA commandments, which is basically, look, these are the 12 things that our most successful clients do that I need you to do. That's why you signed up to this. We're gonna hold your feet to the fire. So I share my 12 MLA commandments, and then I share a mindset message from me that shares with them the valley of despair. So it lets them know, look, I know you're gonna get overwhelmed here pretty soon. You're on a high right now, you just signed up. It's gonna get hard. And when it does, you're gonna end up in what I call the valley of despair. Not what I call, it's like an actual known thing. It's a known journey that we go on as humans, okay? So you're gonna end up here. And then I let them know that, look, after you fight through that, after you claw your way out of that, it might feel hard, it's okay. We're gonna come out the other side, and that's where success is born, right? So I just let them know from day 1, you're gonna feel this way. We own it, okay? I let them know how to navigate their portal, how to navigate the school community, and then we should have a quick wins checklist. Something that's like, hey, if they just did these couple things in week 1, they'd be feeling progress. They'd be probably already be feeling like, wow, I just made my investment back and then some because of all the things that just came of this. So a couple things that we have them do is they're already beginning their 14-day trial on school. They've got a business map created with their niche, their ideal client, their pricing, their offer structure, all the things. That's already done. And they're even creating a brand kit at this point, or our team is creating that for them, right? So all of these things are happening within the first week. So they're like, wow, this is insane. They're updating their school profile. They're changing their profile pics. They're adding a bio. They're like streamlining their socials to reflect their updated branding. It's like so much is happening already. They're setting a launch date for their community. So guys, think of the things that would be helpful to your ideal clients from the day that they sign up. What could they accomplish in the first week? It's very important. And then from there, it's getting into your normal cadence, going through that roadmap journey. So number 1, was setting up your automated backend. Number 2 is building an onboarding course that they can go through and check off to make sure that they didn't miss anything, including a quick start guide or a quick start checklist, something that's gonna get them quick wins. For example, like the school setup, the 14-day trial, all the things. So create your own version of that. Now, pillar 3 is the onboarding call itself. Remember, I didn't used to have a form before this. So I would get on the call and I'd have a very clear process of what I wanna make sure that I cover so that our team can go and do their thing after the fact. I realized having a form in front of that would only make my call more efficient. So what you need to cover during your onboarding call are, think of your onboarding form you just made in a course form. What could you do on that call to make sure that they're going to implement those things effectively? So for example, if they don't have clarity on their ideal client, their offer, their niche, for example, their messaging, that's the biggest one. I will take what we have on that onboarding call and I'll make them a business map so that they're clear on their direction moving forward. So that there's no question the rest of the course and the rest of the experience, the rest of our implementation roadmap, what to actually do or what their offer is or whatever, because we've already covered that. And so if there is a question later, they're probably just undoing the work that was already done, right? Which is usually a mindset thing more than anything else. So we know that, we can look out for that. So what needs to be set up for your clients on an onboarding call that's going to kick up the rest of your experience? If you have an agency, the key thing here is, I believe, not stretching out your work over the length of your program, but see what you can get done in your onboarding call to actually condense your done for you things so that a lot of that is front loaded. Personally, I like doing that so that more work is front loaded and then you can get into implementation, like really using what you build for them. So I think that's really cool. Okay, so really on your onboarding call, once again, you're setting expectations. You're making it clear what you need from them to get the most of this program and this experience. You're going through even that course with them to see what you can get done on that call together, or you're teeing yourself up with anything that you might need to make your experience working together more seamless and more effective from day 1. So it's very simple. It's really just coming down to you sitting down. You can even use AI and just get really clear. Ask it to ask you until it's 99% clear exactly what it is that you should be building out here with your onboarding flow. Ask it to ask you what people need in order to be successful in your program within the first couple months. and then see how much you can front load that without overwhelming them. That's not the point. Notice I said update your school profile. That's very easy for someone to do, but it's a quick win. So what can you do that's a quick win, that's simple, but effective, and will make them feel momentum? Because once they feel momentum, it's easier for them to continue implementing after that. So ask AI, see if it could kick back some things to just get your juices flowing, have it ask you good questions to then tailor out an onboarding flow specific to your business. So look, once again, bad onboarding is a member joins and then they're just kind of ghosted and they're presented with this library full of information with no clear direction. Good onboarding is the member joins, they get welcomed, they're told their first step, second step, third step, they get quick wins and they feel supported. So that's really ultimately what we want to create with our onboarding experience. So sit down now, figure out your 3 pillars of onboarding and get to work. I also encourage you, just like pause this video, map out your onboarding sequence right here so it's not something that's like on your list to do later. You're already learning it. Let's just carry that momentum forward and just get it done now. We house our entire onboarding sequence inside of School, and we have our whole onboarding backend sequence inside of Go High Level, which once again, I have that entire snapshot available. So if you want to see exactly how we onboard members into our free community, which we onboard clients regardless of if they're free or if they're paid. I have a step-by-step welcome sequence inside of our free community that you could actually explore and go through as you're onboarding into our free. You can see exactly how we do this from a user perspective. It's a step-by-step sequence to get you quick wins in regards to setting up and scaling your membership site. So click the link below and join us inside of Magnetic Memberships and experience our welcome sequence yourself.